I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness, and this is a message from the Dragon. Today's message, Sacred Sites. Dear ones, there are so many beautiful sacred energies on this your Gaia, and many of them are very famous. You have heard of your Stonehenge, the Egyptian pyramids of Giza, the Giza Plateau. You have heard of Glastonbury, England. You have heard of Uluru in your Australia. Pumupunku in your Peru. You have heard of so many beautiful and very sacred sites. Angkor Wat. Beautiful energies in each of these beautiful sacred sites. And these are just the famous ones, dear ones. There are sacred sites literally everywhere on this your world. Even in the most unlikely places, such as your Los Angeles city or New York City, there are, shall we say, certain energies that are detectable as sacred energies. Not only in your cathedrals and places of worship, not only in your ancient pagan gathering sites and rocks where kings were coronated upon them in times of old. These energies are still carried to this day in these places, dear ones. Yes, and just about any Christian cathedral that you stand in Europe or any of the older nations is built upon previous sites that have been sacred for many hundreds, if not thousands of years. Dear ones, there is a sacred site within you as well. It is an energetic that you carry. Like megalithic energies, they are mysterious. You do not know necessarily that you are activating a sacred site within your own beingness until you get this feeling. And the feeling that comes upon you usually is something like either goosebumps, a knowingness, a feeling that you are not alone in one of these places where there is apparently no one standing near you, an awareness, a memory. Many things can activate this sacred knowingness within you, and in many cases, these knowingnesses are activated by the ground you are standing on. Let us jump into this, so to speak. Every single one of you listening to this recording is fondly remembering something where you have been guided to something that nobody else knew is a sacred place, and somehow or other it has become sacred to you, your own special place, your own special rock, your own special mountain or lake or beach. There is some part of Gaia that calls to you, and perhaps it was only for a moment on a trip. Maybe for some reason you are guided to leave a known path or road and just find this place. And it was almost as if you were guided there. Dear ones, you were guided there. And if you have a seriously sacred place that you go to often, every time something in your life happens that you need to process or you need some time to work through something, this is very connected with your beingness, this place. And it also may be a crystal or a rock or your own house or backyard. It could be literally anywhere in your life that you feel the energies of something greater than yourself coming to or through you. This may sound a little vague. Some of you are very specific in your sacred places, your own little temples, as it were. Oftentimes out in nature, a certain tree that has a presence that calls to you, a certain meadow. Let us get a little more specific. What do all of these places have in common? Well, let us first start with how they got noticed, so to speak. In many cases, you are either traveling in your car or looking online and you saw a photo of a place, or you got off an airplane or a train or something and you smelled the air and you looked up into the trees and or into the clouds or the skies of the area, and you just got this feeling the light is a little different here, the colors are a little different, something is a little more vivid, or this smell reminds me of a memory that I just can't quite place. It is an inner knowingness, and oftentimes it will come through color, through the quality of light. When you see the light falling upon a hillside or a forest or perhaps a meadow or a stream. Yes, dear ones, nature is often the best place to connect with these energies. It could be on an old building or temple. It could be on just, there is something about the land where I'm moving through this land and it speaks to me on some level. Oftentimes this comes through the colors of the ground itself. You notice the colors of the rocks, the colors of the mountainside or the hillsides. You notice the colors of the indigenous plants that are growing. You notice all of the different areas of watershed, sacred waters, pools, rivers, streams, oceans, lagoons. These are the telltale signs, dear one, that you are starting to connect with something. When you seem to be mesmerized, you have to stop for a moment and really take in this place. What is it? And sometimes there is nothing very remarkable about the place. It may be some shabby old broken down building in the middle of nowhere, or you're in a city and there is some old building that seems to be forgotten from a long time ago, and you are not sure exactly what it is that is getting your attention. Dear ones, when this happens, notice it. If you find yourself pausing somewhere and feeling energies that you are not accustomed to feeling, notice it. Stop, become silent, allow yourself to open somewhat and feel into what this is. This is the first opening for one of your new sacred connections that you are making to a space. And if you happen to be in a place where perhaps it is an ancient temple or a point of interest, so to speak, you're in Greece and it is an ancient Greek temple, or you're in some other country and there is an ancient ruin, and there may even be a tour guide there, and people are coming from all over to see this archaeological place. There is something about this archaeological site that calls people to it. There may be a story associated with it, or there may be something fantastical about the structures there, or the lines of the land, or something. Dear ones, if there is a tour guide, run away as far as you can from that tour guide and find some place to sit alone. The most important thing for you is your personal connection with these places. You can listen to the tour guide later if you wish and get the update on what culture they thought created the place, or why it is famous, or some point in history that is of interest to many people. The most important thing is your personal connection. This is the same thing as having a personal connection with a guide or a spirit animal or a dragon or whatever, an angel. If you hear of this through someone else, then you are already coming with their description of what this being is. If you listen to a tour guide in one of these spiritual places or one of these sacred sites, you are listening to someone else's interpretation, their stories about this place. And dear one, the most important story to you is your connection with this place. If you sit quietly on the steps of this old ancient ruin, or just listen to the wind as it moves through the land, or tune into the light and the way the light falls on the structures there, or the land, or the plants, or something, you will find a deeper connection within you to this site. And this, dear ones, is a gateway that can open to so many things. Your own personal connection to this place is so important because it will take you on a journey within yourself, oftentimes waking up either abilities or memories in you, knowingnesses, a sense of belonging perhaps, or even a sense of I don't belong here can be very instructive. Perhaps it was a lifetime you are connected with, and you are remembering that you met your end in this place, or forced to leave it for some reason, or were chased out. It is important for you to feel into these stories. Do not try to force them. Just quiet yourself and open. Observe and feel the energies that are moving to and from, the feelings that you get. And if a feeling comes out of nowhere, you see in your mind's eye a ship or a person standing there, or you have some sort of vague memory of something that happened there, feel into that, dear ones. It is a story of you that is unfolding within you and a deeper connection to this sacred site. This is, by the way, how we work with dragon energies, and it is always a highly and deeply personal connection. So what I am doing here right now is to hold up a mirror to you and say, don't look at Jadon Se and ask him what is special about this place or the name of my dragon or whatever. Look into the mirror that Jadon Se is holding up right now and see who is smiling back in that mirror. See and feel into the greater story. In this way, starting with perhaps noticing something about where you are, beautiful colors in the cliff sides, etc., and feeling into that, open up to your guidance. If you are driving a car, you might find all of a sudden you just feel like you want to turn down this smaller, dusty road that doesn't seem to lead anywhere. But for whatever reason, the feeling is strong that you wish to explore this place. Dear ones, never pass up a feeling like this. If you are called down an old dirty road, dusty road, unless you think they are growing marijuana patches there and might start shooting at you or something, go, because you are being called to some remembrance, or it is perhaps something that you need to change about that place, an energetic key that you are delivering to an unseen lock that has been closed for many eons perhaps. Your mere presence, your energetic signature in that place might unlock energies that change the world. It can be that dramatic, dear ones. It can also be something as simple as you need to remember some part of your deeper story. You might not even remember why you came down this road or what you were hoping to accomplish, and suddenly you see this thing. Perhaps it is a tree growing on top of a beautiful pile of rocks, and the way that tree is just sitting there on these rocks looks like a large-sized version of a bonsai, like it was created somehow. Or perhaps you are paddling down some river, some forgotten place on this river in your kayak, and suddenly you realize, though this is a very wild place and it's not on anyone's apparent property or land, we are far away from homes and structures, it looks like there are benches carved into the side of the river here for sitting, and it looks like this place was crafted by some intelligence, even though it is very natural. And then you feel into it and you feel like you are being watched or observed. Dear ones, this is how it works. You can tap into your deeper feelings. Be aware, be open for these guidances, for these energies. And when you are done with all of this, you may or may not come away with an experience that you are conscious of. You may actually have been changed in some way that does not occur to you for many months or even years later. And you realize, wait, I was at that place. I just now discover that that was a site that is sacred for X or Y reasons, or this is where a great battle occurred, or this is where an illumined master once walked. You may not know immediately why you are guided to that place, but dear ones, when you do find the rest of the story later, something else will be unlocked within you as well, and you will realize that your greater higher self had you there for a reason. You were doing grid work of some kind, or resolving some ancient energies that were stuck, being of service without even knowing it, so to speak. And when you are done tuning in personally, then it is fine to listen to the tour guides, or to read up on the place, or study up, whatever you wish to do, and take samples. And if you are guided to take a rock home in your pocket, dear ones, there is a very high chance that when you suddenly, unconsciously or semi-consciously, are attracted to a rock and you put it in your pocket, it is highly likely that you are balancing energies for Gaia. And why would I do this without knowing what I am doing, being unconscious that I'm doing this grid work? Well, dear ones, there can be many reasons. You might be purposefully obscuring your conscious ability or your conscious remembrance so that you go undetected by other energies in that place. You could be doing so much that you are unaware of at your 3D human level that resonate through other dimensions without your waking consciousness, let's say. And mission will be completed no matter what. If you came and you were guided to do something, or pause there for a moment, or if you have a piece of rock or obsidian in your car that you've forgotten about, it might be transferring energies and unlocking things in that place. You might realize later, wait, I had this piece of obsidian in my car this whole time, and then retrace your footsteps and realize that it was a grid. It does not matter if you are conscious about this kind of thing. Just feel into it as much as you can and open these portals within you, and you will find by and by, little, slowly, you are gaining an understanding of very sacred energies. Moving within you, moving within Gaia, moving through the various dimensions and stories of your connected lifetimes. Sacred sites are so good for the soul, dear ones. If you feel anything move within you, you feel your heart swelling, you feel tears suddenly in your eyes and you do not know why, or some smell makes you remember something, or feel this place is so very familiar, just sit with it and feel into it and smile, dear ones, because you are being blessed and you are doing important work. This is how so many sacred sites work. You can occupy your mind about the stories with them and the archaeology, the histories. This is fun and beautiful. Dear ones, if you are called to a site, there is deeper work going on all the time. This is true with your dragons and the dragon energies. This is how we work these, and why I am talking about sacred sites. For this ties into working the dragon energies. You do it in just the same way. You feel into it. You feel for the dragon presence. And you make a very deep and very personal connection with these energies. And then beautiful magic starts to flow. I am Jadon Se, in love with this magic, in love with this grid work, conscious or unconscious, and in love with your sacred site.